back to the Confectionery News Network. My name is Musammal Khan, and in a bit, we'll be going live to the conference where Andrew Melvin and Wong Lee will be discussing the state of Canadian confectionery industry. Essentially, they'll be discussing the industry and important trends influencing the industry. Now, if you just bear with me, we'll be going live there right now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, esteemed members of the confectionery manufacturing industry, and honored guests. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrew Melvin, and I would like to welcome you to 2007's CMAC meeting. Some good news to begin with. Currently, this industry is valued at approximately $2.5 billion Canadian, and has been growing steadily by about 3 to 5% in the previous years. Of this market, chocolate accounts for about 59%. The remaining shares are taken up with sugar candy at 20%, chewing gum at 17%, and everyday cough drops at 4%. Most of this growth was attributed to chocolate bars and gum. The candy and cough drops have not seen any appreciable change in revenues. Specifically, the highest growth to note has been seen in fruit snacks, sugar-free products, and high-value products such as premium chocolates. Currently, Canadians average about 25 pounds of chocolate consumption per year, and these products are generally taken into 3 categories: boxed chocolates, chocolate bars, and novelties. While the bar sales are steady throughout the year, the remaining categories tend to be seasonal, sold mostly around Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Easter. They are particularly brand sensitive, with nostalgia playing a big part in whether a customer chooses one over the other. Now, branding for the chocolate bars is considered critical, however, since most new chocolate bars do not fare well in the market. Only 2 have been introduced since the 1960s that have established themselves in the top 10. Because of this, a bar can be considered a success in this market if it captures a 4 to 5% share in the market, and shares amongst the bars are measured currently in tenths of a share. Overall, this market sees low profits and intense competition between the major players of Cadbury, Hershey, Mars, and Nestle. Now, sugar candy products range between hard candy, jelly beans, jujubes, and toffees, and profits are typically higher in this sugar confectionery industry. There is much less pressure on brand orientation, and consumers generally make their choices based on price, not brand. However, both industries share a very high cost of raw materials, including packaging, within their cost of goods sold, with 75 to 80 and 85% dominating sugar and chocolate cost of goods sold, respectively. This has resulted in the industry being highly vulnerable to fluctuations in the price of materials and supplies. These materials include commodities such as cocoa products at 20% of the total used, sugar at 5%, dairy products at 7%, and finally nuts at 6%. Packaging costs are also high, with an estimated 20% of raw materials cost. Overall, the companies have competed on the basis of brand name, specialty products, advertising, and promotion and cost. Continuous promotion has been essential for success in these markets, with consumers often making choices at the spur of the moment. With manufacturing, a major point to note is that while machines have automated much of the processes, boxes of chocolates are still mostly packaged by hand. Moreover, smaller companies often don't have the luxury of the amount of automation the larger companies enjoy, resulting in higher costs and lower efficiencies. This has resulted in the industry running at an estimated 75% of capacity worldwide. Further, public awareness of food allergies, particularly peanuts, has forced confectionery companies to provide public assurances of products coming from peanut-free environments. This has resulted in modified factories and sometimes duplicate equipment. Oftentimes, money ends up just being spent to stay in business. Finally, outsourcing is becoming a normal part of business in the industry, as companies yield their products to other, usually smaller manufacturers. They're often not using a company's primary product, but are still important products for business. The smaller manufacturer does benefit from this guaranteed revenue for the term of the contract, without the overhead from sales, marketing, and distribution. This extra production can also be used to help alleviate level fluctuations from seasonal demand of the smaller manufacturer's own products. What's been seen on top of this, however, is that many companies are beginning to outsource their products to Mexico for the reduced labor costs associated, thanks to the global marketplace, helped in part through NAFTA. And now I'll be handing it over to my associate, Mr. Huang Li, for his dissertation on distribution, consolidation, and the changes and advantages that Canada has enjoyed with this industry. Mr. Li.
Thank you, Andrew.
Carry on.
In Canada, we have three main advantages over the U.S. Although our productivity levels are only about 80% of the U.S., this is offset by our weak Canadian dollar. Our dollar on any given day is valued anywhere between 65 to 80 cents U.S. This allows us as an industry to benefit from various cost advantages that allow us to compete across all the various industries. Another advantage we have over our U.S. counterparts is that we have no policies that restrict us from purchasing sugar, which accounts for 5% of our raw materials, over the global market. Lastly, our public healthcare system is funded by both our federal and provincial governments, which means we as an industry are able to have lower employee benefit costs. Thank you everyone for attending our conference. We hope that you found it very informative.